All right, so
It's
here...
amazing how jolly you can look next to that fucking blow-up doll. It's like, he's the happiest man in this trafficking business.
I won't forget you, Billy, for all my life.
You suffer as a kid, or you grow up having not suffered enough, and then you just create suffering for other people. And then you suffer there.
For years, peace held across the podcast realm. The House of Segura has survived parenthood, fame, touring, TikTok degenerates, and Bert Kreischer himself. Tom and Christina met while coming up through comedy, married in 2008, and eventually transformed their relationship into one of the biggest husband and wife brands in podcasting. Your Mum's House gave listeners access to their arguments, private jokes, sex lives, parenting stories, and mutual disgust. The marriage was not hidden behind the program. The marriage became part of the program. But after 18 years, the alliance ended.
I'm not sure why Tom Segura and his wife are getting a divorce, but I can tell you that I've hated Tom Segura since March of 2022 when he called Jada Pinkett Smith, quote, a bald-headed bitch because her husband slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. Women being punished for men's actions is truly a tale as old as time, but it really feels like only the most vicious misogynists among us are still genuinely blaming women for the things that their husbands do. I'm not sure why Tom Segura felt it necessary to call a woman a bitch because of something that her husband did, but one has to wonder if it might be a glimpse into his marriage and a hint as to why it ended. Good luck to Christina. I sincerely believe that you'll be better off, and I look forward to seeing the inappropriately aged woman that Tom will undoubtedly hard launch a relationship with in about a year.
Reports said the separation occurred several months before it became public, that it remained amicable, and that Tom and Christina intended to continue working together while raising their two sons. But online, amicable separation is not a genre. The internet requires betrayal, it requires villains, clues, winners, losers, and apparently replacement husbands.
Where do you go, whatever. So is it hard for you to go on TV and be TV queen?
No, not at all. I mean, I was on Chelsea lately.
News of the vacant position traveled quickly across the comedy kingdom, and one warrior answered the call before the ink had even dried. Luis J. Gomez wasted no time at all. While most people were still processing the collapse of an 18-year marriage, Luis was already examining the situation like a man who had discovered an unexpected opening in free agency.
All right, so let's look. We have some, Christina P. and Tom Segura did split.
Oh, no.
That's a real thing.
News came out today. But
This is a big deal.
they said they've been separated for a few months.
Really?
That's what, and it's amicable.
Jeez.
I like Christina and Tom both. You know, that is sad. But yeah, they do say don't date comics.
Yeah, but
Hey, you're dating a comic now, right, Maddie?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
Same guy?
Yeah, same guy. All the time.
Now, I do not know how serious Luis was being. With Luis, it's often difficult to locate the border between the joke But the interesting part is how quickly Christina's public identity changed. One week she was Tom Segura's wife, the next she was a single woman being discussed by male comedians as a possible romantic acquisition.
Christina P, freshly divorced from Tom Segura. You shoot your shot with Christina P. That's what I say.
Maybe she'll win the battle royal. She'll get it out with Serafina.
Ooh, that'd be hot.
Nice.
Christina P and Serafina just down in front of
the mother-daughter kind of thing?
Shit.
There was no mourning period, no respectful silence. The drawbridge came down, Lewis mounted his horse, and the tournament began. And in the interest of transparency, Lewis is not the only respected figure within comedy media who has expressed an interest. I too have formally thrown my hat into the ring. My sweetest Christina, many a night have I dreamed of this very moment, two lost immortal soulmates reconnecting upon this earthly plane. Naturally, those souls are you and me. I would be lying if I said I had not pined for that delicious frame of yours since first glimpsing you and Theo together in that green room, desperately wishing it were my hand you delicately touched rather than his. But alas, such is the cruel way of the world. The heart wants what it wants, yet rarely receives it no matter how deeply it yearns. Nevertheless, as the kids say, I am shooting my shot. I hope you will kindly accept my invitation to dine at Springbone Kitchen or McDonald's, whichever you prefer. Yours faithfully, FP. Obviously, that email was not really sent, but the joke reflects something genuinely strange about the reaction to this divorce. The second Christina became publicly available, people began treating her relationship status as communal property. Lewis became a candidate. Old Theo Von rumors returned from the dead. Every male comedian sitting beside Christina suddenly looked like he was interviewing for Tom's position.
When I saw that these two were splitting, I was not surprised because Tom has gone through somewhat of a makeover. This was him when they were together or in their early marriage. This is him now. But as so many men do when they go through a midlife crisis, Tom has decided that his pain and his feelings of inadequacy aren't based on his own issues, but rather his wife.
And fans began fantasy booking her romantic future as though they were rebuilding a wrestling roster. There's no verified evidence that Christina and Theo were involved, and old jokes or friendly podcast chemistry do not become proof simply because a marriage later ends. But the separation has encouraged viewers to reopen the entire Your Mom's House archive looking for signs that may never have existed. A glance becomes resentment, a joke becomes a confession, a guest appearance becomes an audition.
So how long did you guys date before you got married?
4 years.
4 years? Does that sound accurate?
Yeah. What do you mean? You think I'm fucking wrong on that?
I don't know.
I was there too.
I don't know. Maybe she thought that you guys had been dating for a little longer, a little less.
No, that was accurate. So here's another flag that I had, is that when we were dating, there was a few. He would be like, I really like you, and I was like, yeah. He's like, I just want to tear your eyes out and stab you over and over in your chest and watch you bleed to death. And I was like,
that's not a direct quote. I said,
what did you say?
I said I could put your head through that dresser. I like you so much. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, on the one hand, it's kind of a compliment. On the other hand, you go, this guy might be severely mentally ill.
Well, he was trying to say that he was going to bang you out.
Oh, is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
And then you
Dave Landau even promoted his recent appearance with Christina by joking that Tom was absent and that the entire situation was somehow his fault. Dave was plainly taking the piss rather than making a genuine romantic advance, but he understood the new atmosphere immediately. Place Christina beside another male comedian and the audience will begin writing the story for them. That is the environment surrounding Your Mom's House now. An empty podcast chair no longer looks like an empty chair. It looks like a bloody vacancy.
He was supposed to be my first one night stand, but I liked him so much.
She'd never had one.
No, he was my first one night date.
Did y'all have the one night stand at your place or his
My
mattress?
place.
Hers.
The mattress was later.
The mattress was later. That's when he really roped me in.
Christina eventually addressed the silence around the separation through an Instagram story. She felt supporters described it as a really difficult time for the family and explained that recent Your Mom House episodes had been recorded in advance, which was why the breakup had not been discussed on the program. That detail is fascinating. Podcasting sells the feeling of immediacy. Two people sit in front of microphones discussing their lives, and the audience feels as though it is sharing the room with them. But viewers were watching pre-recorded episodes featuring a relationship whose real condition they did not yet understand.
Buckle up because this is a seething hot take. If you told Tom Segura that him and Jelly Roll are the exact same person, he would be so offended. And that's because he's a self-hating pseudo-intellectual that thinks he's smarter than everybody else, and that's become apparent over the years, especially through his GLP-1 weight loss journey. He has this false sense of accomplishment now that he thinks he's hot. Meanwhile, he lost the weight quite literally the easiest way known to mankind. So while he focused on his glow up, his wife was fighting for her life. Isn't that attractive? Well, it'll only be attractive to the next victim, which will probably be a 20-year-old whose prefrontal cortex hasn't developed yet, which I predict he's already dating but will hard launch in a year.
The audience thought it was witnessing the present. In reality, it was watching an archive. And once the news became public, every old episode changed meaning. Normal sarcasm appeared sinister. Routine irritation became evidence.
Give any information. You just be like, I'm good. Are you good? You giving... What are you looking at?
No, is that a shadow? Okay. I thought all of a sudden I saw bruising and I was like, oh my God. Okay. I was like, oh wow.
You been pushing me around?
No, I just thought that maybe you were like going through a cardiac episode or something.
Oh my God. Look how happy you were about that. Why are you laughing? You're like, I'm worried you're in cardiac, and then you laugh? God, you're so mentally ill. God, you're at your happiest when you're insulting me or when I'm dying. Have you noticed that?
No.
Look how thrilled you are. This is the happiest you've been all episode. You think I'm going into cardiac arrest. Look at you. God, you have fucking emotional problems. You okay?
I'm okay. Okay, should we keep going?
Fans who had listened for years began claiming they had always noticed hatred beneath the jokes. That may occasionally be true. It may also be hindsight doing what hindsight does, turning confusion into a storyline.
Tom Segura is leaving his wife, and there's been a lot of think pieces to the effect like, oh, he got in shape and got some money, now he's abandoning his wife. But I kind of want to push back on that because, like, aren't men, whether they're Tom Segura or Jelly Roll, allowed to leave relationships they're unhappy in? Because we'll talk about like alpine divorces where like a husband just abandons his wife in the woods and say, why not just leave? But then if a man leaves, it starts this discourse. And I understand that comparison is terrible because the bar is in hell. Like, yeah, congratulations on not abandoning your wife in the woods, Tom Segura. But I'm just like, I've never seen a man throw a divorce party.
Tom and Christina spent years teaching listeners to examine their marriage for entertainment. The audience learned the language of their relationship, the eye rolls, insults, complaints, private habits, and recurring disagreements. I mean, I remember a few years ago when I would watch their show occasionally. From time to time, they would just be cracking up together, cracking up at the crazy videos people would send them. So it's a damn shame they're breaking up. But hey, these things do happen.
Tell me. I'm gonna pee. Tell me. Tell me. Stop it. I'm gonna pee. Tell me.
The name of the video is Using Lung Infection Like Instrument.
Wait, using lung infection? Like it's what?
Like an instrument. That's the name of this video.
Baby life.
Oh my God, so funny. Using a lung instrument. Stop it. Oh,
Some reactions have been sympathetic, others have been almost gleeful. There are people who dislike Tom because they believe wealth and success made him arrogant. People who resent the way YMH began speaking about poorer viewers. People who think Christina was irritating, Tom was cruel, or both became disconnected from the audience that originally supported them.
I don't listen to his podcast because I have 2 brain cells to rub together, but apparently he's been soft launching the idea of leaving his wife for a hotter young thing for a long time now, and it was never a joke. In reality, men like Tom Segura are really, really deeply pathetic. They're deeply unhappy with themselves. They have no strong moral code. They're very, very weak, and it's just gross.
And going back to the whole, comments Tom made about poorer viewers, a lot of people are still very angry about that to this day. People believe that Tom changed, he evolved, he used to be very, very friendly, he used to be for the people, and then suddenly he started making money, he started getting all these Netflix deals, he started bringing in a lot of income, and now suddenly he hates the poor. A lot of people still remember that, a lot of people are still pissed off about that, so naturally, when they hear news about his relationship breaking down, they're going to be jumping for joy. But what some people don't realize is that, of course, Christina is arguably the innocent person in this whole situation. So while you may be jumping for joy that Tom Segura's relationship broke down, one can't help but think about the innocent person in this relationship.
I can't. No.
Baby That's the back of my head hurts.
Ow! I'm gonna pee on myself.
Online comments quickly filled with people saying they were unsurprised, claiming Tom had appeared disgusted with Christina for years, or simply celebrating because they disliked both of them. Those responses do not reveal why their marriage ended. They reveal how much resentment had accumulated around the couple before it did.
I have to have my career exactly like Tom's. I have to be successful. It's like, this is not going to work for me. This is not going to work because I'm a mother. My body can't keep up with this pace of work. It's not good. And it makes the woman angry, resentful, bitter. And now I'm useless because if my kid can't come for a snuggle and my cat can't come, I'm the center of the home. This is the truth. And it's not pretty to say anymore, but that's what I learned.
I don't think she'll ever see this, but Christina, I hope you know that your worth and your value is not tied to Tom's. You are hilarious. You are successful. I fucking love your lipstick. And I hope you get the snuggles that you deserve.
Sometimes the internet is not celebrating the death of a relationship, it is celebrating the collapse of an image. But beneath that image remains an actual family. 2 people who were married for nearly 2 decades, 2 children, and a woman who only 2 years earlier had received a breast cancer diagnosis.
Because I had a mammogram a little while ago, and there was an abnormality, and I have very, very early stage breast cancer. Womp womp. So, yeah. So, but it's totally treatable. The prognosis is very, very good. I will not die. This is not my last summer on Earth. I've already asked everybody.
She later returned to the program announcing that she was cancer-free. That timeline will inevitably cause some viewers to draw conclusions about Tom. Cancer diagnosis, treatment, recovery, separation. But those events appeared beside one another does not establish that one caused the other. We do not know who initiated the separation. We do not know the private reason for it. Nothing publicly verified shows that Tom left Christina because she had cancer. Reports have consistently described the split as amicable and say both remain committed to their children. Still, the subject touches a much wider fear. There is a statistic frequently repeated online claiming that men are 6 times more likely to leave a seriously ill wife than women are to leave a seriously ill husband.
Why do men leave women who are sick? You've probably heard the wedding vows in sickness and in health, but as a divorce lawyer, I can tell you that when sickness comes, a lot of men don't stick around. Studies even back it up that men are 7 times more likely to leave a seriously ill spouse than women are. Why? Because for a lot of men, love is conditional. They loved who you were, not who you become when life gets hard.
Researchers found that 20.8% of relationships ended when the woman was the patient, compared with 2.9% when the man was ill. Those findings are disturbing, but the internet often removes the limits from research and presents one result as a universal law. This was a relatively small clinical sample involving several different serious illnesses. It was not a study of Christina, Tom, or breast cancer alone. A much larger 2022 systemic review covering more than 263,000 cancer patients and 3.4 million controls reached a different overall conclusion. Cancer was associated with a slightly lower divorce rate, except in cases involving cervical cancer. The authors also warned that the available studies varied significantly in quality.
You tour
like a maniac.
I know. Okay, you have 2 kids. How old?
Yep.
6 and 4.
This is like almost like abusive, right? How much he tours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Is that an issue?
Yeah.
You talk about it?
Oh, on air on the show, no, but in private, yeah. It's horrible. It's terrible.
Why don't you talk about it on the
Yeah.
Okay. 4 and 6.
You like your fucking life, Christina?
Another widely circulated study about wives being abandoned after illness was later retracted after researchers discovered that marriages lost to follow-up had accidentally been counted as divorces. The corrected results were far less smaller and did not establish the broad gender difference originally reported. The honest conclusion is uncomfortable because it cannot fit neatly inside a TikTok caption. Some evidence suggests seriously ill women may find a greater risk of abandonment in certain circumstances. Other large-scale research finds that cancer does not generally increase divorce, and none of it tells us what happened inside one specific marriage. But the speed with which people are willing to place Christina inside the most painful possible version of that story says something about the way the internet processes women after illness. She becomes the abandoned cancer survivor, Tom becomes the husband who escaped, and a complicated private relationship becomes a familiar morality play before either person has explained what happened. Which brings us back to Lewis, because Lewis shooting his shot is funny. Theo Von being summoned from old podcast mythology is also funny, but the humor depends on treating Christina as a position that has suddenly become available. The queen is single, the gates are open, the men begin marching towards the castle, and somewhere beneath all of this is a person who described the situation as a really difficult time for her family. That may be the only statement that matters. The internet has transformed divorce into sports commentary. People choose teams, inspect old footage, construct motives, and celebrate when a public couple they disliked finally breaks apart.